All right, guys, how you doing? I got to be honest. I've been making this a long time, Italian chicken and peas. I didn't know it was a thing, but apparently it is. And it's very inexpensive, easily. Look how cheap that is. That's if you can find cheaper chicken, use it. Because we're just going to kick the sauce up a notch. And this is really quick. I work ridiculous hours. And this is really quick. So I'm going to put a little extra virgin olive oil in the pan. A little crushed red pepper. And by the way, this was a new one I just bought. And it didn't want to come out. And I could have edited this out. But I wanted you to see. In case you have the same problem. Yeah, just pop that puppy off. And put as much in there as you want. And so I'm going to use minced onions. Because we're talking like a Tuesday night. I just worked 12 hours. I want to make a homemade meal. I don't feel like cutting onions either. Really good. This meal is really good, really easy to throw together. A little black pepper, really easy to throw together. And like I said, I looked this up. I make this a lot. My grandmother used to make it with pork chops. I make it with chicken. I didn't know it was a thing. It's a thing. I looked this up on what to name it. What's the name of the video? It's a thing. Italian chicken peas. Who knew? But anyway, I'm gonna let in the olive oil because the fat carries the flavor. I let that go about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm just going to throw in a can of sauce. Now, you know I have another video how to make homemade sauce. That's what I would typically do. Like I said, this is like a Tuesday night. We don't have time for that. Man, we're going to a little wine in there. Very little wine. The wine of your choice. That just happened to be what I had around. Little chicken broth because this is chicken and peas. If you don't have chicken broth around, don't worry about it. You're going to see later on we're going to add the chicken broth we actually create. So there's my very sophisticated sugar container. I'm putting a little sugar in there because some people have like acid reflux. You know, like if they drink orange juice, they get heartburn. They eat pasta sauce, they have heartburn. Put a little sugar in there, kills that. I have fresh parsley. I didn't use it because I'm trying to show you how to do a quick and inexpensive meal. So some dried parsley, some dried basil. Obviously, anybody who's watched my videos knows I have fresh basil in the house. That's not what we're doing tonight. This is, like I said, this is Tuesday night. We're trying to throw this together and have a good homemade meal. And I'm still laughing at the fact that this is actually something I didn't know it was something. My poor grandmother. And a little garlic. I stir that up, and I have a garlic press. I have fresh garlic. I'm not using it. That's about a tablespoon, I guess, of garlic. Going to throw it in there. Listen, you're cooking for a family of four adults, or let's say 2 adults and 4 kids or whatever. This whole thing probably costs less than $10, or about $10. And I'm counting the bread and the salad. You can't get more inexpensive than that and have a good home cooked meal. So we're gonna get the chicken going. And I showed that close up of the price of that. It was like under $5. You could use wings, you can use legs, whatever you feel like dealing with. I find these chicken thighs are much easier. My mother loved them. Much easier to deal with and very, very inexpensive. And we're just going to jam them in a pan and, cook them up. Oh, sorry. I took a brief break there. I paused everything. A little salt on these chicken thighs. I took a little pause because it was my birthday yesterday, and my son bought me a 6-pack of Guinness Stout, which I love. So I'm sipping on that. So I may pause this video periodically, and the narration may get terrible. I used sea salt and some crushed black pepper and some of that same dried minced onion. Once again, usually I would cut my own onions. I'd make my own sauce. I would crush my own garlic. This is Tuesday night. I got $10. I'm feeding 4 people a fabulous meal. And I do this actually very often. I work a ridiculous job with a ridiculous amount of hours. I mean, typically, I'm leaving the house at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not getting home until 6 at night. So you don't have a lot of time to do this. All right, so I put those thighs down. I put them skin down so I could season the meat part. And they were in there about 20 minutes. So what you could do is just put them in there 20 minutes, cover them up. You got 20 minutes, man. You're making next day lunches. You could be putting together the salad for this meal. You have time. Another 20 minutes with skin side up. And I want to flip them over again just because I want them. You know when you do meatballs, how you don't care if they're charred because they're going to sit in the sauce? Same thing with this. And I'm trying to reduce or render, I guess, as much fat out of that chicken skin as I can. Flip them over, cover them up again, probably 10 minutes. That's my guess. You can set the alarm. Do things you have to do. You get other things you have to do while you're home. Flip them over again. I didn't want to talk over the subscribe thing. I'm going to flip them over again. It's starting to stick a little bit, and that's a non-stick pan. And that's a good sign because we're going to use that. So I wanted to do that. So I'm going to flip them over one last time and shut off the heat. And just let them sit for a second. There they are. I shut off the heat. Here we are. All right. I shut off the heat. They've been sitting there for probably, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And I'll pull them out of there, and the skin is breaking away, and we've pretty much rendered as much of the fat out of there as we want. And there's seasoning. Remember that salt, pepper, onion. There's a little seasoning in that pan. So I'm going to turn that heat up aggressively. You can see I have it. You see I have it on 3/4. All right, I think I'm going to kick it up a bit more than that later on in the video, and I throw a little wine in there. You don't need to. You don't have to. I don't care what wine you use. I like a deep red wine when I'm doing these sauces, and you'll notice I used like a pink wine and then a white wine. Why? I had no red wine. But now anything on the bottom of that pan I got up, and isn't this precarious? And you see why you didn't really have to add the chicken stock at the beginning, because you kind of made your own chicken stock. I like using the other chicken stock. I never know what I'm going to get out of the 4 thighs. And look at that sauce. I mean, just looking at it, we ate this, well, it was last night. And I can smell this right now. In fact, I think I might make this again tonight. That is a delicious pasta sauce right there. I'm going to cover it up, throw it on the back burner. And here we go. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this part. I had it on a low heat in the back burner, so I'm just going to give it I give it a quick stir. And now we're going to use 2 forks like you would shredding, how do I say this? Like a pulled pork. Only all you're doing is taking the skin off the thighs. If you want to leave the skin on the thighs, knock yourself out. I don't, I'm not even going to say I. Nobody in this house wants the skin on that chicken in this sauce. So I just take it off. So I just use 2 forks. It comes off very easily. I'm making it look a lot more difficult than it really is, because I was on camera and I get nervous. And ironically, see how I time-lapse that? I time-lapsed out the easiest part of the whole thing for no reason whatsoever. And then I said this is very simple. That can of peas, I drained it. I think it was 58 cents, which was 49 cents about 3 months ago. And I just threw it in there. Let's keep in mind, once again, Tuesday night, we're just trying to feed the family inexpensively. You know, we were investing $10 and we're going to have a heck of a meal. So I just threw a can of peas in there, cover it up, have it on a low heat. Do you see the heat over in the right hand corner? That's very low heat. Pull it back off a few minutes later. And I actually had turned the heat up, obviously. You can see it over there. And I'm just giving it a quick stir and just making sure everything's looking good. And man, I could smell that just looking at this. I can smell that. It's so delicious. Voila, that sauce is done. So let's cook our pasta, which we did. And for adults, we're talking a couple of bucks a plate. I used rigatoni. Use whatever pasta you want. And I also I like to use a lot of sauce in my dish. You don't have to use so much, and this could be recycled. You know, the next day you could have sauce. You know, just put this in the refrigerator. But I like a lot of sauce by meal. But there you go. This is awesome. Serve it with a salad and some bread, and you have absolutely scored a killer dinner on a Tuesday night when you didn't feel like cooking. Love you guys. Hi guys, just want to say a quick thank you for watching the videos. Please subscribe, like, and share if you enjoyed them. And please come back for the next one.